it's Cindy from the Osterville Library again, and today I'm here with Dr. Cox. He is from the Cape Cod Community College, and he has been with the college since 2012 and has brought a lot of great new programs and innovation there, and probably had to deal with a lot of things he didn't expect to deal with. So I think we'll first welcome—
Understatement of the year.
So first, welcome.
Thanks, Cindy. I'm delighted to be here to share some information on what's going on at the college. I think as you know, and we've talked about a little earlier, the college was a host to the drive-through testing center in cooperation with Cape Cod Healthcare and Barnstable County, and we were we were very honored that we could provide our location and the infrastructure to support that initiative, and we really are appreciative of Cape Cod Healthcare and both the healthcare and the Barnstable County folks for making that a go. They have since moved the drive-through testing to both Falmouth Hospital and the Cape Cod Hospital as the demand levels have changed over time. And over the course of the summer, with so much of our instruction being remote and virtual, it was really, they had sort of a run of the parking lot area, if you will. It was a secure area that was separated from the main part of campus. The other interesting piece that we mentioned was the groundbreaking for the Frank and Maureen Wilkins Science and Engineering Center that occurred in early August. We are at the stage now where we have actually begun to do some of the demolition to the old lecture halls that were attached to the science building. They will be coming down so that our contractors can get in and reach the site in the center of campus where the new science building will be built. And we're expecting this to be completed so that classes can begin in the building. It would be for the spring semester of 2023. And there's been tremendous community support in terms of making that building happen. A lot of community engagement, and I think what we're ultimately going to see when all is said and done and the building rises up as we get beyond COVID-19, or at least COVID-19 under management, it'll be an opportunity to engage with the community in the science and technology areas. There will be resources within the building that our faculty can take advantage of, that we can offer in collaboration with K-12 throughout the Cape, as well as some of the local community-based organizations and government agencies that may need to take advantage of some of the technical capabilities that would be offered.
Well, that's amazing. As a native Cape Codder, I've seen how Four Seas has grown from being over on South Street and all the changes that have happened, and the Stella nursing program that it has, and just a great resource for people on the Cape. So how is fall looking this year? Is everything remote, or is some in person? Or
well, there's the majority of classes are going to be virtual, which is a combination of remote learning, which is actually live engagement while you're logged in. And there's also hybrid. There are courses where students will physically come to campus, or Hyannis Center, or the aviation program in Plymouth, where there's a need to do certain hands-on instruction to attain the skills that are connected with the program and the degree requirements. And we have made the changes necessary to really expand the spatial distances to allow time that our facilities people can come in and do the cleaning between classes. We've also adjusted some of the schedules so that certain cohorts remain together for an extended period of time. And if I gave you an example, it would be aviation, where we have, it's a cohort-based program. and we've tailored the schedule in such a way that one particular cohort is meeting all day for several days in a row. That way we don't get involved with the possibility of cross-contamination by bringing in other groups throughout the day. So we're trying to minimize exposure to any COVID-19 virus. So that has required us to alter schedules slightly. So some programs, in the case of aviation, will probably end up taking a few months longer to complete because of how the scheduling has to be pushed further out, given the constraints that we have in getting the same number of people in the confined spaces that we've been used to in the past. So it's been a learning opportunity, but the advantage that Cape Cod Community College has had is that we've been in the online arena for several years, and we've continued to build onto it incrementally over time. So when we got to this moment in the spring and we had to make that sudden change, we had faculty and staff on board.
Ooh.
Pivot forward through this and continue to build off of this as we get into the fall and this new academic year.
That's really interesting. I mean, you guys have really done quite a bit, and I'm sure it's been a logistical nightmare in some respects. That could be
nightmare is a good word. It's, yeah, it's had its challenges, and it's really people have shined in a different light, if you will. There's so many that have really risen to the occasion to make this transition happen so that we could continue with the continuity of education so that students can move forward, because it's one of the critical elements that's sort of playing out in the background, if you will, is that there's a lot of uncertainty. There are a lot of schools that just recently decided what they were going to do for the fall. And then there are a few schools that are just completely flipping what they're doing at the last minute because the exposure rates have gone up as students have come back. And there's a natural tendency for students to sit out this year. In fact, if you follow some of the research, the survey suggests that upwards to 40% of the freshman students, the first year students, are contemplating not engaging in higher education this year. And these are students that were due to begin. They were thinking they were going away to college. They were going to be living in the dorms,
right,
meeting their friends, starting a whole new life. And the fear is they sit on the sideline, they take the gap year, and the world continues to move on. And the piece that we remind people over and over again is that, in life, we don't get a do-over here.
right.
We don't get a year added on back at the end once COVID-19 is under control. So it's really a question of how can we keep people engaged so that they can continue to move forward, even if the increments are smaller. And we realize in some cases, the household, you have the students are in middle school, high school, and mom or dad are here at the college, and everybody's competing for that Wi-Fi connection, and it's like there's a lot of demand. So sometimes we have to have the conversation. Maybe instead of taking 3 classes, you take 2. You adjust it, but it's critical for people to continue to strive to move forward. We have financial aid available through the FAFSA, the Pell Grant. So there are ways that we can work with people on the financial side to help enable them to move forward. And we really drive that piece home that, don't sit on the sideline waiting for this to pass. Stay engaged, even if it's at a different level, but stay engaged and continue to move your education forward, because
I agree so much.
We're gonna be out of this in one of these days.
Oh, I agree. I know. I hope so, and soon. And we believe in that same philosophy. People who do sign up for those classes, if they don't have stable Wi-Fi or they don't have a computer, they have the Osterville Library. We're open 7 days a week, and we, are working to support people trying to, improve their lives and upskill, with this tools and things that we have here. So there are ways to work around and do have a productive year and look back and say, oh, wow, I accomplished this, this, and this.
And we definitely appreciate that connectivity, because we've told people about that it's available there as well, because it's critical when people are challenged with that Wi-Fi.
Right. Now before we wrap up, I've got a quick question here. What's that book, Our Iceberg?
Well, this is Our Iceberg is Melting by John Cotter up at Harvard. And I think he wrote it in the early mid 2000s. And it was sort of a business book looking at the world in terms of some of the bigger systemic changes that were playing out. I actually, my cabinet read this book, I'm going to say probably 6 or 7 years ago, as we were, getting a little bit further out of from the recovery of 2008. But it's amazing how history repeats itself, and we could look at the pandemic in terms of the similarities to the iceberg in this story, and how in this book how the penguins adapt, but for us how humanity adapts.
We'll have to get that book for the library. It looks interesting.
It is.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about the college?
No, I appreciate everybody's effort to get through the transition here. Classes start on September 8th, and we have quick terms that will be held over the course of the semester. They're actually 7-week shorter terms that you can take courses. So some people that may have hesitated to enroll initially for the start of the fall semester, there's a second quick term that will start in late October that you could sign up for the class at that point as well. But we're here to serve, capecod.edu, and we definitely want to see you both online and eventually in person.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Cox, for taking the time today to talk with us, and thanks again for all you do for the community in so many different ways. And I look forward to that technology building being up. I can't wait for that.
So a lot of us do. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Yep.